Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for tuning back into my channel. Sorry for this delay. I was supposed to have uploaded this video yesterday, but I was in a little funk, so I didn't want to just send you guys anything. So I'm here today just to give you a little recap on my week number 7, and also to give you guys some few tips on how to bounce back after you didn't do so well on a test. So let me just start off with that first. But before we go any further, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please go down and hit that subscribe button. It's free. And I try to upload some great content while documenting my journey throughout nursing school. And if this is your first time tuning into this video, I am in the LPN program. I'm in my 2nd semester. I have one more semester to go. And, I'm at a community college. And so far, so good. Everything is going well. It's smooth. But I am just counting down the months and the days till the 2nd week of August, because I will be marching across that stage and receiving my diploma for LPN. And the plan after graduation is I'm giving myself a 2-year limit to bridge to RN. There are some few goals that my husband and I would like to accomplish before I start the RN program. And by the grace of God, those goals will be achieved. So it's good to give yourself a time limit. I know everything works with his timing and not our timing. And that was the lesson that I had to learn prior to starting the LPN program. It's not our timing, guys. It's his timing. So I am just going to keep my ears open. And when he say bridge back, that's when I'm going to bridge back. So guys, as you know, my very first exam in the 2nd semester, I didn't do too well. I didn't flunk it or anything like that, but I didn't achieve the score that I know I was capable of achieving. So I have created a little cheat sheet. And you guys, if this is not your first time tuning into this channel, you know I always have my little cheat sheet. So, as I mentioned last time, when we took our very first exam, this semester, all of our exams are held on campus. Versus last semester, I was sitting here in my office taking the exams on my computer. Totally different atmosphere. And the very first exam of this semester, the room was ice cold. It was like we were in Alaska. So, one huge tip to conquer that disaster is to bring yourself a warm jacket. And you can also bring a blanket, that helps, calm your nerves. You got something to hold on to, which I don't have anxiety or anything like that, but I want to be relaxed and comfortable while I'm taking an exam. So if the room is real, real cold, bring you a warm jacket or a warm blanket or both. And from the very first exam, I did mention that it was just a lot of distractions around me. People were talking. I heard cell phones buzzing inside their wallets or their purses. I heard the whispering when someone had a question and needed the instructor to come over and help them with something, to tune all that out. Get you some earplugs. They were my lifesaver when I took my 2nd exam. And I knocked my exam out of the park. I did higher than what I said I was going to make. So I am very pleased with my grade this time. Some other good tips that you can use when you don't do well on an exam is to pay close attention to your lectures. Like I mentioned before, my instructor is awesome. I have her not only for my clinical, but I also have her for my lecture classes as well. She breaks everything down on the slides, and she even gives us scenarios of things that she's went through in her personal life or things that she's witnessed in the hospital setting herself. So it gives us a chance to, visualize the situation that's going on, and also remember, I remember she was talking about that when XYZ happened. So when you can relate to what you're learning in your class, you can relate it to something in real life. So that really helps. I also re-listened to her lectures. Because something during lecture, I might have missed. And then when I went back and re-listened to it, like the next day, it clicked. And I can write down extra notes what she said about that particular subject. I'm pretty sure everyone who was in the nursing program, you have a lot of medications to remember, or to not really memorize, but you're going to be in contact with these medications, especially in your clinical setting. And how we do with our medications, we don't particularly have a pharmacology class in our program, but the pharmacology is kind of built into the lectures, and of course when you go to your clinicals. So my instructor, she wants us to remember the generic and the trade name or the brand name. Just like, say for instance, acetaminophen is generic for Tylenol. She wants you to know both of those versions because that's how it's going to be on your NCLEX. They might not just give you the generic name. They might give you the brand name. So you need to know both ways. Know the adverse effects of the medications, side effects. Know why you take that medication, and so forth. So that's kind of how I break down my drug cards as well. Another good tip for the exams is know the nursing interventions. They love asking that on all of the exams, that what you should teach your patient upon discharge, or, when they leave the hospital, or when they go home, tell them what they need to know about the medications. If a patient is experiencing, if they develop a high fever, or if the patient develops bleeding, things that stand out that they need to report back to the provider is very important. So those are some of the nursing interventions. And it's plenty more, but those are the main two that really come to my head. And the last little helpful tip for exams is making concept maps. Now, as you know, I am a visual learner. So not only do I write things down or I type out, last semester I was typing out all of my study guides. This semester, everything is dealing with diseases or disorders. So I'm making my concept maps. And those are really helping. And it's really fast because, like say for instance, this week we are doing exemplars on infection. So different types of infection that we are doing. Influenza, pneumonia, otitis media or ear infection, and conjunctivitis or pink eye. So those four main infections, I am doing all my concept maps, and I have already completed those assignments. Well, I've already completed those maps for tomorrow's lecture. And I think I have 4 more to do for Wednesday's lecture. I'll do that tomorrow. And those 4 will be on developmental issues like autism, ADHD, cerebral palsy, and failure to thrive. So I will do that tomorrow. And I think it's fun, guys. Nursing school, it can be challenging. And you got to know how to manage your time wisely. But when you're doing something like this, like what I'm doing right now, making my concept maps, it makes it fun. And it's much faster than just reading the entire chapter, doing the homework assignment, typing out my study guide. That got to be a little lengthy. So that's why I said I was going to switch up some things for this semester. And it is really helping. So guys, that was my little cheat sheet on how to bounce back after you didn't do too well on your first exam. Now, as far as week 7 goes, because this week starts week 8. Week 7, as far as in SimLab, of course, we're not on campus for that. Everything is online, and we're doing all of our assignments through a platform called Swift River. We didn't have an assignment for last week because last Monday we had our second exam. And, I did much better on that. So I'm really, really pleased with my score that I got. As far as lecture, I told you everything that we were doing. Last week's lecture was on perfusion exemplars. And then we did one on safety. And then we started the boring concept of development, which was so boring. Even the instructor was bored with it. But we had to push through and knock it out. So that was lecture and that was sim lab. Now, as far as clinical, that's my favorite part of this semester. We have completed 6 weeks of med surge. Now, we got to do 3 weeks of mental health. And that's going to start with this coming Thursday. And then that'll be 2 more Thursdays. Once we finish all 3 of those mental health. Titan, why are you in here? That's my dog, y'all. I'm sorry. So once we do those 3 weeks of mental health, we go back for another 6 weeks to finish up med surge. So it's 12 weeks of med surge and then 3 of mental health. Okay, so that's basically all that consisted of clinical. And I hope I'm not missing anything. And basically it's the same layout. You get there and she has all of your patient information that you're going to be assisting with that day. She has the patient's admitting diagnosis, the medications that they're taking, and whether they're on NPO or clear liquid diet or low sodium diet. I mean, it tells you from A to Z about your patient, what you have to do for that patient and everything. So basically all we have to do is just look up the medications. She wants to know the classification of the drug. She wants to know what the patient uses the drug for, what adverse effects from that medication, and the indication for the drug. So it's 4 different things about the medications that we have to look up before we even head upstairs and go see our patient. So guys, that is about it for week 7. And like I mentioned, I really wanted to get out those good tips because those tips have really helped me pass my second test. And it's nothing but up from here because now I have a set strategy of what I have to do to prepare for each exam. And this semester is just like last semester. We have a total of 6 unit exams, and then we have our final. And so my next exam is on March 2nd. We tend to have an exam like every 2 weeks or 2.5 weeks, something like that. So the next test is on March 2nd, which is on a Wednesday. So instead of going on a campus on a Monday to take the exam, it'll be on a Wednesday, which is about the same. I mean, I'm still going to rock it out. So I hope and pray, guys, those little tips at the beginning of this video will help someone. And if you have any other additional questions about myself or my program, please link it down in the description box below, and I will definitely get back to you. I'm real good about when someone sends me a message, I respond right away because I get a notification on my phone. So guys, please remain positive, surround yourself with positive people, and just continue to rock out your nursing program. And I will definitely keep you informed of any changes or, any hurdles that I have encountered along the way. So be blessed and be safe. Until next time. Bye-bye.